Oh, I'm absolutely relieved that it's done. It's sad. It's heartbreaking, but I am relieved that it's done.
I just don't get to have the perfect Christmas.
And he said, I just wish it didn't have to be this way.
It's when Christine was leaving and I said, hey, we're going to do this patriarchy thing, but I've never been patriarchal.
Sister Wives star Robyn Brown's daughter Ariella Brown just saying, I hate Christine, isn't just some random outburst. There's a lot more to unpack there. That kid didn't just come up with that on her own. Robyn is clearly planting ideas in her children's heads. Ariella doesn't even know Christine well enough to hate her. The only reason she could feel that way is because of what she hears at home, from her parents or maybe even her grown siblings who are still hanging around the house. Probably both. Kody bringing this up is just a sneaky way to make Christine look bad and himself look good. But if he's telling the truth, he's actually exposing himself and Robyn. They're the ones feeding Ariella these toxic ideas. And every time Robyn whines about Christine not wanting a relationship with her, it reeks of her fishing for sympathy. Christine never said she never wanted a relationship with Robyn. She just said, not right now. But Robyn always spins it like a personal attack, trying to gain sympathy from viewers. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Reality Nexus X. It's Elena here, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Don't go anywhere because today's video is going to be a good one. Let's jump right in. However, Sister Wives star Janelle's son Gabriel Brown is hands down my favorite. He's wise beyond his years. I'm pretty sure there was an episode where he sat down with Kody at Coyote Pass and actually tried to have a conversation, right? But of course, Kody says none of that ever happened. So now I'm just over here, confused but still convinced that Gabe made the effort. If Kody could just drop his ego for 2 seconds, maybe he'd be able to fix some of these relationships with his kids. I mean, Gabe did try talking to him. Honestly, Kody should be forced to show some proof of these so-called attempts to reconnect with his kids. But like most people who are emotionally all over the place, the concept of truth seems to escape him completely. Sister Wives star and father of 18, Kody Brown's moment of accountability. I found myself reflecting on a rather stunning realization. Kody Brown is not exactly known for owning up to his actions. No, it's always someone else's fault in his world. You know, blame yourself if I don't love ya and all that jazz. But here's the kicker. Mary and the church actually managed to serve him a slice of accountability pie. They triggered him so profoundly that the church leaders had the audacity to call him out, using some words that clearly rubbed him the wrong way. Yes, they told him he had abandoned Mary. Oh, the horror. He despises the term abandonment because it places all the blame for their failed marriage squarely on his shoulders. How dare they? So, thanks to Mary asking for a release from their marriage, the church effectively slapped him with a reality check. They were, in so many words, telling him he had been a truly awful husband. That, in my opinion, was his big accountability moment. It's no wonder he was so triggered. I never abandoned her, he insisted. But just 2 minutes later, I checked out of that relationship a long time ago. Oh, the irony, right after the legal divorce. Let's not forget that this legal divorce should never have happened. Robyn's tearful sob story about her kids being torn from the family if she croaked. Total manipulation. She spun that yarn to get what she wanted. It all started with her offering to carry a child for Mary, just a clever tactic to win Mary's trust. If Robyn would do that for me, then I should help her out. Talk about a masterclass in deceit. I wasn't even a fan of Mary back then, but I could see the manipulation and was infuriated. Now, here's the thing. Kody finally heard some tough love from the men in his life, the same kind of criticism his 3 wives had been hurling at him for years. But apparently, his ears only perk up for feedback from other men. And let's be real, his sons don't count because they're just echoing their moms. Kody's narcissism has always positioned him at the center of this show, even if he pretended it was about religious freedom. It's wild to think about how resentful their church and former peers must be. Kody went on national TV and confirmed every negative stereotype about polygamy being toxic and abusive. Congratulations, Kody. You didn't just tarnish your own image. You dragged their entire religion through the mud. So much for the AUV trying to distinguish itself from the LDS. Kody left Utah and their church 14 years ago, and up until now, he's managed to dodge any real confrontation. But this is way bigger than Mary. Mary, the ultimate badass, has pushed that final button. Kody strung her along for over a decade, and now she gets to walk away free while dropping one last grenade in his lap. It's bound to gnaw at him, whether he misses her or not, especially now that he's been emasculated in front of his AUB brethren. Sister Wives star Robyn Brown's selfishness truly knows no bounds. It's not about the kids missing their siblings or the original kids being without their dad. No, it's all about her. She's out here celebrating Christmas with her husband and her 5 children, all while conveniently ignoring the fact that her kids get to enjoy the holiday with both their parents since they've completely written off their biological dad. Talk about a me-first mentality. The level of self-centeredness is just staggering. Let's not forget about the other children, the ones who won't get a Christmas with their father or their siblings, the very ones they've considered family for years until she swooped in and started rewriting history. She can take her holiday cheer and kindly F off. However, it looks like Avalon is taking a page straight from Aunt Truly's playbook. After the first episode of the season, it was clear she had no clue who Kody really was. Her reaction in the latest episode pretty much sealed the deal for me. When she flat out rejected his attempt for a hug, I couldn't help but think of Truly saying no thank you when Kody asked for a kiss. It's like they have an unspoken family rule. Kody, hard pass. And let's not overlook Tummy's choice to call him Kody instead of Grandpa. Talk about a telling moment. It just goes to show that the closeness they claim to have is a bit more smoke and mirrors than reality. Moreover, Sister Wives star Robyn Brown and Kody Brown really need to take a permanent vacation from this show. Nothing personal, but what made Sister Wives interesting were the wives, the kids, and the circus that was Kody trying to balance it all. That ship sailed when they left Las Vegas, and ever since, their segments have been about as exciting as watching paint dry. This season in particular, they are such a drag. With all the broken relationships with the kids, does anyone actually want to watch Kody and Robyn interact? Not me. I've been fast-forwarding through their scenes like they're commercials for laundry detergent. Give me more of the other women and kids. I'm all in for Mary's storyline. I can't wait to see what she does next. Honestly, there's only so much whining and moaning about how unfair everything is that anyone can take. The other 3 wives are far more captivating, and it's about time we focused on them. Let's break it down. Kody won't answer questions? Well, newsflash, Kody doesn't get paid. Robyn won't sit with the other wives? You guessed it, no paycheck there either. Aurora and Brianna refuse to interact with their siblings on the couches? Yep, you guessed it again. They don't get paid. No more fake scenes. Let's get ruthless and zoom in on the obvious fakery. How about putting dates in the corners so we can keep track of when all this drama is happening? Let's be real, TLC. It feels like your terrified Kody will walk off the show, but his biggest fear is poverty. He's got a whole house full of women who are only working for this TV gig. There's no reason to think he'll actually leave. I'm done being gaslit by Kody and Robyn, and I'm sure the original wives feel the same way. They can pack their bags and leave. Also, Robyn and Kody really need to get their stories straight. Robyn is putting in some serious effort to cast Kody as the noble husband in his divorce from Mary. Honestly, I'm convinced this is why production has them do their talking heads separately, because they can't keep their narratives aligned. Robyn says Kody has cried over the Mary situation, and then we cut immediately to Kody declaring, "Oh, I'm so relieved." Talk about a major contradiction. It's almost laughable. Robyn thinks it looks bad if Kody doesn't care about his divorce from Meri, so she makes up these elaborate stories to try and salvage his image. But Kody swoops in and completely wrecks her little fairy tale by telling the truth. He truly doesn't give a flying flip. It's clear he's just relieved to be off the hook. Robyn's manipulation is on full display, and it's almost comical to watch. Additionally, I used to think Christine's daughter Mykelti Brown was the only kid who had a genuine relationship with Robyn, which is why she was allowed to have a connection with Kody. But after rewatching some scenes, it's clear that Mykelti's relationship was never really with Kody. It was all about Robyn. Kody would only show up when Robyn was around, like a sidekick waiting for his cue. Mykelti seems to shower Robyn with praise, taking her advice and hanging on her every word. In return, Robyn lets her have a relationship with Kody, but only if she's involved. I've never seen Kody spend time with Mykelti and her kids without Robyn being right there. It's obvious that Kody is only interested in relationships with kids when the mothers are doing all the heavy lifting. Just look at the Christmas Secret Santa fiasco. Robyn would only allow her kids to interact with the OG kids if she could be in the mix, orchestrating everything like a director on a reality show. And we all know how hard it is to coordinate that many people on a video chat. She knew it would never happen. Honestly, I don't think Mykelti's relationship with Robyn is as tight as she believes. It feels more like she's a babysitter for Robyn's kids rather than a true family member. I'm not 100% a Robyn hater, though I find myself getting closer every season, but I can't shake the feeling that their bond is more parasitic than parental. Oh, how absolutely delightful it is to hear Robyn wail about her undying desire for a plural marriage. Seriously, if that's true, then why on earth did she practically chain Kody to her side throughout their entire relationship? Sure, it was Kody's choice to camp out at Robyn's house, but you'd think she could have mustered up the courage to insist he spend some quality time with the other wives and kids. But let's be real here. I have serious doubts about Robyn's commitment to this so-called plural lifestyle. If anything, she seems way more interested in being the queen bee, all while blaming Kody for the family's chaos. It's almost comical how she moans about wanting to be a good sister wife while clearly relishing her role as a stay-at-home mom for her kids only. Oh, and don't forget about her lovely financial arrangements with the other wives. It's like she's been collecting their older daughters as free babysitters, all while contributing absolutely nothing to the family. Robyn is the epitome of a low-value partner. She knew exactly how Kody treated his wives before tying the knot. That's why she cleverly extracted a promise from him at the picnic table: no love, no marriage. You can almost hear her gears turning as she plotted her way to being the legal and favorite wife. But surprise, she didn't see the other wives exiting stage left with their cash in hand. And let's not overlook the irony. Despite witnessing Kody's not-so-charming behavior towards Meri, she was more than happy to pocket Meri's money and her share of the Vegas house equity. I mean, who wouldn't? A decent person might have mentioned that Meri could need that money someday if she decided to make a swift exit. But that would require a little something called integrity, something Robyn clearly left at the door when she stepped into the family. However, I can't even wrap my head around how Robyn has the audacity to tell Christine that she and Kody weren't having any issues back in Las Vegas. Really, Robyn? Christine has made it clear that they had countless conversations over the past year, but Robyn acts like she's some sort of expert on their relationship, basically calling Christine a liar. It's laughable. Each wife has her own unique relationship with Kody, which just goes to show that Kody must be gossiping to Robyn about everything under the sun. And somehow, Robyn thinks she's the queen bee of this whole mess. For reference, check out Season 17, Episode 9 if you want to witness this insanity firsthand. Honestly, Robyn struts around like she's Kody's last wife standing, acting like she's all that and a bag of Doritos. You can practically see the smugness radiating off her when she lounges on that couch or tosses out her condescending comments. But let's be real, the real winners here are the other women, who now have the chance to find partners who actually deserve them. Sorry for the little rant, but it's hard not to be frustrated by this. If I were in a terrible relationship and someone dared to call me a liar about my private marital struggles, I swear I would have burned the world down. It's infuriating to hear Robyn say, "Kody spends more time at my house in Vegas because I give him an office and garage space," as if that somehow qualifies her to understand what Christine was going through. And then she has the nerve to say, "But you don't communicate," when Kody apparently doesn't tell her a thing about the other wives. It's just mind-boggling. Moreover, let's talk about these so-called unrealistic expectations of grandparents, shall we? Sister Wives star Kody Brown has 18 kids, and out of those, only 2 have managed to spawn children of their own. That's right, 2 kids who've given him a grand total of 6 grandchildren. We're not talking about a grandpa juggling visits to a dozen grandkids scattered all over the country. It's just 6. So seriously, Kody, you can't find the time to hop on a plane, even while wearing a mask, to visit one of those kids for a long weekend over the past 3 or 4 years. My grandparents had 5 kids, and those kids moved all over the place, starting their own families. But guess what? Until they were told they could no longer fly due to health issues in their early 80s, they managed to visit each family at least once a year, even if it meant taking a 4+ hour flight to see some of us. And if there was a graduation or a health crisis, they were on the next flight out. I simply can't wrap my head around how Kody thinks it's reasonable to go 1,000 to 1,500 days without seeing his daughter and grandchildren, and then labels that as unrealistic expectations. Isn't it a bit unrealistic for Kody to assume that all 18 of his kids will just roll over and accept that he'll be absent from their kids' lives just because of a little distance? Sure, geography plays a role, but let's be real, absenteeism is not the answer. And did Kody even think about this when he was busy adding more kids to his roster? Did he think, hey, I'll just have 18 kids and completely write them off if they move more than 45 minutes away? I have kids too, and you know what? I expect them to move wherever life takes them. That's just part of the deal. I'd also expect to spend a good chunk of my time on planes to visit them, because I refuse to let where they live dictate the quality of our relationship. Let's face it, Kody doesn't visit because he doesn't want to. He doesn't pick up the phone to call because he doesn't want to. It has nothing to do with distance, since he has kids living near him that he also ignores. Take Ysabel's surgery, for instance. Kody didn't show up because he didn't want to. This is exactly why the wives finally decided to leave. He just stopped putting in even the bare minimum effort he used to. At this point, it's clear he just doesn't want to bother anymore. Furthermore, when Sister Wives star Janelle Brown dropped the bombshell that Kody told some of his own children that he should have waited to marry Robyn, I swear my jaw hit the floor. There's no way he hasn't said that more than once. I mean, who does this guy think he is? My heart aches for those poor kids. Every episode, I think this pathetic wet noodle can't possibly disgust me more, and yet here we are again. Honestly, Robyn and Kody deserve each other, and they should just leave those poor kids out of it. For crying out loud, how do they even live with themselves? I absolutely believe he said it. He's the reigning champion of denying his own awful words. This is a guy who does it all the time with stuff that was actually filmed and aired, so of course, he's going to deny saying something truly horrendous off camera. Let's be real, there's no way the kids are just pulling these statements out of thin air. They heard it directly from that jackass's mouth. And for Kody to sit there and pretend it's some kind of game of telephone is absolute BS. We all know he loves to rewrite history to make himself look like a saint because, heaven forbid, he actually faced the mess he's made. Plus, is anyone else just completely skipping over the Mykelti's mom, Christine Brown, and David Woolley scenes? Because I can't watch them at all. Seriously, she's already married. We just sat through the wedding episode. And now we have to pretend these chats about their first dates are some kind of groundbreaking new information? Give me a break. I usually watch this show while multitasking, but I can't even tolerate having their scenes on in the background anymore. Honestly, I've decided I'd much rather watch an hour of the Gabe show. At this point, the show is so far behind and so predictable that I've completely lost interest. Miri goes on about how she was wronged, and yes, she was. Robyn has her obligatory crying session, Christine is suddenly in love, and Janelle has finally woken up to what a jerk Kody really is. Meanwhile, the kids are just trying to live their lives amid all this chaos. It's sad for us viewers because we already know what's happened, and we just want everyone to heal, if that's even possible at this point. Honestly, it feels like it's time for the show to throw in the towel. The goose is cooked, folks. Also, let's talk about Sister Wives star Christine Brown's little revelation about not wanting to be around Robyn and the gang. I mentioned it in another video, but it deserves its own spotlight. So remember when Christine moved from Flagstaff and casually dropped that she didn't want to be around Kody, Robyn, and their delightful brood? Well, surprise, surprise, they did absolutely nothing to change her mind. Instead of being supportive, they just doubled down on their usual diet of hate, negativity, and drama. Classy move, right? If only they had respected Christine's boundaries and acted like decent human beings whenever they crossed paths. Imagine if, during their exchanges of truly or whatever, they'd actually been pleasant instead of perpetuating the drama. Or how about this? If they had spoken about Christine respectfully in their talking heads and treated all the kids kindly, we might have seen a different outcome. Honestly, if they had managed that, Christine would probably be singing a different tune. Picture it. Kody and I weren't the best married couple, but look at us now. He's always thrilled to see Savannah and Truly. And Robyn, she's a gem. Remember how she calls my kids on their birthdays and sends Christmas cards? She even encourages the Middles to hang out with DAB because they get along so well. She's just such a wonderful presence in our lives. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think Christine is a saint. But can you blame her for reacting to how terribly Kody treats her? The humiliation of his comments about her and Janelle? Let's not even start on how he disregards the OG-13. However, this week's episode really hit hard when Janelle's daughter Savannah Brown revealed she wanted her brothers to walk her down the aisle. My heart shattered into a million pieces, especially knowing that Garrison won't be there to do it. It's infuriating to think about how their dad is such a colossal deadbeat loser, completely failing his kids when they need him most. Savannah deserves better, and it breaks my heart to see how her brothers, who act as father figures for her, are now left with such a void. I just watched the video of Maddie, in tears during a couch confessional, singing Logan's praises to Michelle for all he's done for her. And if you watch closely, there's a not-so-subtle jab at Kody in there. So was Kody really that terrible to Logan? Seems like the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Ah, the irony of Sister Wives star Kody Brown, proclaiming he's never been patriarchal, except for all those times he clearly was. I'm genuinely impressed by his remarkable ability to forget the countless moments when he pushed for his brand of patriarchy, where it was always my way or the highway. Remember that pig incident in Hawaii, the boat race, moving to Vegas, then to Arizona, and let's not forget marrying a fourth wife. Each time, it was Kody, the self-appointed decider, although I suspect Robyn was pulling the strings behind the scenes. Let's be real, he wasn't always the patriarch. In the beginning, he was more like a ping-pong ball, bouncing between families while his wives supported him and built him up to be this incredible guy. But then Robyn came along, and that's when things really took a turn. Her manipulations became increasingly clear. Janelle even pointed out that Kody never used to toss around words like respect and loyalty the way he does now. Those lovely phrases, yeah, those came straight from Robyn. She worshipped him to the point where he started resenting his other wives and kids who didn't fawn all over him. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with what I shared? If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching.